Aaron Swari joins me now. Aaron, I am looking at you. I see you. We see you as well. Thank you for doing this. I am so sorry you have to do this under these conditions. Can you just give us a little bit of what you heard? And I'm going to try my best to make sure that I can hear you okay. So forgive me. Can you say something really quickly?
Hello, Josh.
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you give me a little bit of just what you saw and what happened just before 5:30 tonight?
I did my grocery shopping and was checking out, and I was the only one at the particular checkout. There were people over at self checkout. I didn't really pay much attention to them. I was just watching my bill go up and just making small talk with the bagger. And then we heard a pop. And honestly, I thought it was a balloon that popped. I call me crazy, but I just thought it was a balloon. We all looked around, and then I saw everybody starting to duck. So of course, like I said, I'm pregnant and very. I noticed my surroundings a lot more, I guess.
Mm.
And anyway, so everyone ducked, so I ducked, and then after that, I would say there was 6 to 8 more shots, just one right after another. So I was just down on the ground, just frozen. Obviously, I didn't want to run while there were still gunshots going, but all I could think while I was down there was of my kids. And if he came around that corner, that I thought I would probably be gone or shot as well. So
Oh,
I just stayed there and tried to stay calm. I saw people running down the frozen aisle toward the back. I waited just a minute so that I didn't hear anything. I couldn't. I mean, there was no arguing. There was no nothing beforehand. There was no sounds other than that first pop. Um, so after just a moment, I just I grabbed my purse and I ran down the same aisle. I went to the back and into the stockroom, and I just hid back there. I couldn't see anybody else
I'm gonna,
until I saw.
Aaron,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop you because I have to ask you this question, and I'm gonna show the scene as well as I ask this question. When you went to that stock room, what went through your mind? I can only imagine what went through your mind.
Um, Really, at that point, there wasn't a lot going through my mind. It was mostly when I was bent down at the checkout that I was scared for my life. And I'm not being dramatic, but when you hear something like that, I mean, you assume that whoever is doing it is just going around randomly to whoever. So I thought, if they come around that corner, then I'm going to be shot as well. And I have 2 small kids and a husband now, and I'm pregnant. And so anyone would be scared regardless. But when I got back in the stock room, then that's when it was really all hitting. I used to do a merchandising job, and I always imagined, what would I do if something like this happened?
Hmm.
And you really can't know what to do other than hide. Um, I saw an older couple, they went out the back groceries to go door, so I then followed. Um, and when I went out there, over to my right, there were cops everywhere, and
How quick?
they
How
were
quick was
chasing.
it? How quick was it when those cops got there? It seems like they got there almost instantaneously. Obviously, it wasn't, but
It had to have been instantly, because I thought to myself, well, I need to call 911 when I was back in the stock room. But
mm.
by the time I went to the door, they were already chasing someone by the Pizza Hut back toward the apartments. You could hear more gunshots.
So,
Um,
so I want. This is in. Thank you, by the way, for giving us this because you don't have to, and I really appreciate this as a reporter, but also as a human being because I can only imagine what you're going through as not only a mom, a pregnant mother, a family member, someone who's just going about her day, and you're able to talk about the moment that your life, literally, in your words, flashed before your eyes. So I appreciate this. I I have to ask you, when you were, and we can see the Martins on one side, and we're seeing you as well here, Aaron. Can you can you tell us after those shots were fired? It sounds like everyone said the same thing. Did that shooter leave the Martins? Was it one shooter? Was it a male? Was it a female? Based on what you saw, what you could see in that moment.
My husband was asking me the same thing. I didn't see anything weird or hear anything weird over at self checkout being that close to it. Um, so no, I didn't see anyone or know if it was a male or a female. But they had to have run out the door because as by the time I got back to the stockroom, hid for a couple minutes, went out the back door, the police were already chasing someone. I don't know if there was one or two. I will say I did hear an older man that was there, I guess trying to help them out, say there's two. Now I don't want to put that on your news and not be sure of that. So
Sure, I understand. But
but
that's what you
I did
heard.
say that. And then I did hear one of the police officers say shoot her down as they were back by the apartments.
Hmm.
Um, and then I ran the opposite direction around went around the whole building to get back to my car because obviously I'm not going to go toward where they're shooting. Um, but then there was a man that was approaching the store, and I told him, don't go in there. There was a shooting, and he was nice enough to stay with me and make sure I was okay and help calm me down. And yeah, so
Can you? And that's what I want to leave things at, if I can, with you, Aaron. Can you talk about that moment with that person? You went outside and you say you were greeted by a person, I believe. Can you talk about that moment and what it meant to you? I think that was the first moment you felt safe. Can you talk about that?
yeah. Obviously, you look to whoever you can find, but he was he just looked like he was headed on in, and so I wanted to stop him. Obviously, it's not like he could have gotten in the store, but just the way he was kind and um, came up, came up to my car and stayed with me and made sure I didn't need an ambulance, which no, I didn't. I just was very upset and breathing heavy at the time, but it meant a lot to me. I asked him his name, and of course now I can't remember it just in the heat of the moment, but he stayed by my side, and he actually, once the sheriff said I could go, he helped guide me out through the grass, um, and shook my hand and made sure I was okay one last time. But I mean, that just goes to show you that we see so much on TV and things like this happening, but there really are good people out there that care about strangers and their well-being. So it really meant a lot to me.
You mean a lot to us, and I can share that. I think a lot of people watching right now on Facebook, understanding that you just, I mean, within hours of a life-threatening moment for you, that you're able to talk to us and share this, and you are so brave to do that, and I thank you for doing that, and so many others are as well, because it helps us tell the story. A story that has become all too familiar in America. Aaron Soare, thank you. And I am thinking about you, your family as well. And I know you're thinking about those victims and the officers and everyone involved too. So thank you so much for doing this.
Josh. And I didn't want to come on here just to make it about me, but I just saw so many different comments and things about where was it and when did it take place and how did it go down. So I just felt like I needed to reach out to you and say something since I was right there firsthand. So
Yeah.
thank you for digging into this and for all the work that you do.
Well, this is not about us at all, and you said it best. It is not whatsoever. But you are doing something that is very helpful to understanding just how scary this incident really was to so many people who any of us could have been there. So thank you, and I am so sorry, and we will talk soon. I know it, and I appreciate you, and please send your regards to your beautiful family and your husband as well. Okay.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Take care.
You as well. Thank you.